The following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
What's up, everybody? Hey.
What's going on, Familia? How are we this week?
This week, it was Father's Day yesterday, wasn't it?
It was my day, and many awesome fathers like mine, and me, and everybody else, man. I hope everybody had an awesome Father's Day. It was a hot one here in Columbus, Ohio yesterday, man.
Yeah, it was hot for sure. What'd you do?
Just kind of hung out around the house, had some projects around the house we needed to get caught up on, and caught up on my couch time, more importantly, with the kiddos. But, it's cool.
Couch time. I was listening to somebody tell me about grilling, and it's like the only holiday where the host of their day,
Yes.
or they're the cook, and nobody can touch the grill except fathers, so... It's crazy. Mother's Day, you go out for dinner and get flowers. Father's Day, you grill out or you enjoy couch time. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. What'd you guys get into over the weekend?
Reptile shows.
How'd that go? Make that money?
Oh, we made that money. We went to Columbus, Hilliard on Saturday, and then we drove up to Cleveland on Sunday. It was interesting.
Yeah, man. So I know we got a killer show tonight, man. Our man Carl is hanging out with us this evening from Integrated Music Solutions. Damn excited about this. And but before we get into it, I really wanted to shout out icb.edu for providing the awesome audio and video for Carl to join us tonight. Just want to get that out of the way.
Yeah, definitely. So awesome of them to help out with all that. And they've got some really awesome things. I need you to go check out their website. Everybody should always be willing and open to learn, and this is the best place to do it, especially in the music industry.
Yeah. I'm always up for touching up on certain things, so I encourage anybody who wants to just kind of touch up on their broadcasting skills or anything like that, man. Stop and check them out. International College of Broadcasting.
Yep. So before we get to that, I want to point out big thanks to Life After This for the intro and outro music. Make that known. Also, RA Nation Facebook group. Make sure that you have joined that group so we can see your comments online and make this experience a much more better experience for everybody.
Yay.
So this is how you join it if you haven't already.
Yes.
Yeah. So Carl Keaton of Integrated Music Solution, booker, promoter. He runs the shows. He brings on national, local acts. He's pushes ticket sales, much, much more. So we're going to bring him onto the show now. He is amazing. Hey, Carl, how you doing?
How are you guys doing tonight?
We're great. We're happy to have you here.
Yes, sir. Good to have you.
Yeah, we had some storms over the weekend, but it was nice today.
Man, those storms the last few days, they've been crazy.
I know, right? Yeah, there was a lot of places that was flooded down this way. I don't know how bad it was out where you guys are at, but there was a lot of flooding down here.
Lots of standing water.
Yeah.
I feel bad for all the people that got houses on the lower end of the downside of the way Ohio is shaped. If you live on the downside, you're fucked.
Definitely. Especially down there with the river.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's got to make something for some mosquito nesting happening, huh? Be prepared. So, Carl, tell us a little bit about what you do.
We book shows, we run live shows, we work with local talent, national talent. We pretty much just promote shows all over Ohio, the Midwest. We've kind of been trying to branch out a little bit more here recently. I don't do any of this alone. So before any of that's even said, like, let's just make it clear that I have a team of people that work with me, and they're just amazing.
Team is important for sure, especially if you've got something so big to what you're doing. You're doing big things. So I appreciate that.
Takes a village, man.
Right.
You know, like no one person can stand up and be like, hey, I'm solely responsible for this. I feel sorry for that guy.
Exactly.
So what, looking at the pandemic and looking at leading up to the pandemic, what were your, hardest parts for you, before the pandemic? What were the hard parts for you for shows?
Trying to figure out, you mean before it all started or leading into it?
Yeah.
Before it all started, the hardest part was just trying to learn and make each experience better for each show. And it was just trying to find the right people to learn from is more the difficult portion of that.
Yeah. Have you had, issues so what's it like? Do you get as a promoter, do you get a lot of flack? Like, is it hard to work with people? Like, are people really hard to work with as such it goes in the industry?
Yes and no. I mean, with any business, you have your issues, with communication with different things. But overall, for the most part, it's not really that hard as long as you just remember to respect everybody and try and do the best you can.
Right.
And just put, keep the drama aside and put the shows, the artists, the fans, the stuff that's important first. And then I believe the rest just falls behind. Just stay focused on the positive stuff.
Yeah.
I'm glad you say that. I wanted to address last weekend at your show. There was a huge storm that rolled in, and communication is important. And you were quick about the communication to let everybody know why it happened, what happened, and all the details. You were on it. It was very professional how you did it, and it was the way you communicated with the community to let everybody know. So I totally agree with you, and that's important for everybody to know this.
We pretty much.
Wow.
Yeah, I appreciate that. There was some really bad storms, like I said. There was a lot of flooding. We tried our best to hang in there and pull through, not waste people's times for coming out, But it got to a point when the tornado warnings and we had the confirmed tornadoes in Montgomery County. It was time to just shut the show down for everybody's safety. We can always reschedule the show, but we can't, God forbid somebody got hurt or whatever in those storms. I can't allow that.
So for all those out there, make sure you're not doing this hearsay stuff and not listening to somebody else complaining and making accusations and whatnot. Go to your source. Go to the person who's putting it on and find out. And it's not supposed to be about drama. This is a community of love and music. So
it's so easy to get pulled and wrapped and twisted and pushed and pulled through all that stuff. I think large in part promoters have a hard time because they're only in one lane. Like, they're covering so many things, but they're still in one lane. And, the artists are in a lane, like everybody's in a lane. And it's when you start crossing over in lanes without turn signals, start crashing into cars and start, causing a mess with the flow of traffic and messing with the flow of the way things need to be. I know that it's 2021, but the screenshots, the memes, all the keyboard warrioring and stuff like that, you'd think after a major pandemic, a lot of that shit should just fall off, because honestly, there should be no room for it after having as much time off as we've all had. If you got hate, you got time to hate, you got time to create.
Yep, I agree 100%. We just need to focus on the like I said, the positive stuff in the community, the unity in the scene, and just try and everybody comes out to have a good time. There's no room for the drama, for the negativity in the scene. If we can eliminate that, then we can get back to what it used to be when everyone came out and had a good time.
How do you combat the social media stuff and the shows? Because, you know, a lot transpires on social media and then spills into the venue in some cases. Have you had any situations that have spilled from social media over into a show?
Yes and no. I mean, I haven't personally with me, but we've had other things that have happened. We typically try to, I don't want to say ignore the drama, but we just try to push it aside and find the positive in it and work the best we can with everybody for each situation as it comes.
Amen. Right on. Cool, man. Yeah. I you know, the cool thing about what you guys do up there and it is just the support, the camaraderie, the artists and musicians and the everybody that comes through you guys' doors is community driven, and they all support each other, and their fan bases support other fan bases, and the other fans support other fans, and it's not just an I game, it's a we game.
Exactly. And I think that that's how it should be. There's no I in team, so I'm not sure where it came from, but you know, like you said, it's a village, and a lot of people get things confused, especially hearing, you know, my name and IMS and stuff, but they don't stop to think. I have a full team of people behind me that's behind the scenes. And usually I try to stay behind the scenes, but you know, sometimes we have to come and do these shows like this, but I have a full team of people behind me. They all wouldn't even fit in this room right now.
Yeah.
And there's one right there.
Yeah, that's Amanda, my business manager.
I thought it was Amanda.
What's up, Amanda? Welcome to the show. I know you're off hiding out, but welcome.
So what kind of things that you do to try to make it more about the show and not so much about the drama? How do you push that all into a funnel?
Well, for one, if you've ever been to one of our shows, I'm always in the crowd moving. I'm never usually standing still for too long, but I talk to as many people as possible. By doing that, you can kind of keep tabs on what's going on, what's going around, and stop that before it ever gets to the door. You know what I mean? If you, for example, have two artists on a show, you know there's some sort of a conflict there, settle that before the day of the show.
Yeah.
I love that you're so involved with it. Every time I go to one of your shows, you're always involved. You and your team.
You have to be, if you want to do things correctly, you know, you have to lead by example, which means you have to be hands-on. And that goes from me all the way down to the newest person on our team. You know, there's not a job in between that it needs to be done that I won't do.
So in order to create one of the best experiences for all the bands, what do your team members, if you could maybe break it down a little bit so we can understand how everything works and is handled according to how you function with your team?
Well, I instruct my team to treat each artist when they come in as our guest. Doesn't matter if it's a local or if it's the headliner. Each person that comes in, including the fans, those are our guests. And we treat everybody with the same respect. And we respect the boundaries. There's boundaries with a band that you wouldn't have with just like a normal fan or normal person that you have to respect because they have needs as well. You know, like, you know, when you're on tour, for example, you don't get time away from people. So you have to respect the boundaries that, you know, if they're in the green room, don't be going in there bothering them. Or, you know, if they need something, even if it's just a ride, you know, to Western Union or something to get cash, that's something that they need to do because that's what they do on tour. You know, they can't just get up every day and do that. They have to have people to help them.
Nice. And what other kind of things that they do? So you said Amanda is your business manager. What other categories do you have?
You mean like the positions in my team?
Yeah.
Well, we have Travis, who's my vice president. He runs our teams. He's in charge of making sure that everybody's on top of their jobs. Then we actually have city team leads for each city. Like we have a Cincinnati and we also have a Dayton team. Well, each of those teams have leads as well. And then we have our actual membership for the company. But we also have a street team as well. So it's kind of a structure program, and we, run down the chain as it goes.
Nice. It sounds like you got it all worked out greatly.
Trying to.
So as we grow into this music scene opening back up, what kind of things would you suggest to artists, musicians to evolve with those changes? What do you see happening?
The biggest thing that I would say is a lot of people need to, but also over the break have started learning to master your craft. If you're an artist, you're not just going to record and play music. I mean, learn how to promote, learn how to book shows for yourself, learn how to sell tickets, learn about marketing. Pretty much everything you need to know. A lot of artists forget that this is the music business. So they're so focused on the music, they forget the business. And that's not just with artists. That goes with anybody in this business. It's a music business. So whatever your job is, you also need to focus on the business end. Because like with me as a promoter, I have to work with artists and venues and things of that nature. So that's one thing I have to learn. But I also have to learn the business side of this, which is a totally separate set of skills.
And then you're left picking up other people's slack, and you probably don't have any time for that.
Yeah, but it's what you have to do. If you really care about the scene, somebody's going to have to step up and take us back to the greatness we once had here.
Yeah.
There's no vacation days in music.
No.
Because even when you're on vacation, if you got the bug, you got the bug. Even when you're on vacation, you're thinking about that bug and that itch, and just ready to get off the plane and get back to doing whatever it is. Like it just doesn't stop. And if you stop on the road, you get run over a lot.
Oh yeah, it never stops. There's so many days that I'm like, okay, I'm going to take today off. And then it ends up being one of the busiest days of the week, because it just so happens that every single person I've been trying to talk to is now available.
Yep. Yep.
I've got Gamok in here, and he asked this or said this, that so you guys put shows together for a lot of Ohio. That's sweet. Could you kind of touch base on the things you have done and venues you've played in and some of the bigger artists you've pulled in, and how you incorporate local as well?
Yeah. Well, we started out, our home club was Odd Bodies in Dayton, Ohio. We used to do the Mad Frog and the Blue Note down around the Cincinnati area. Since that time, we've actually changed venues. We work with the Thompson House in Newport. We work with Riverfront Live in Cincinnati. We also work with the King of Clubs in Columbus now, as well as Odd Bodies still. We also have a couple of other people that we work with in Indianapolis and Chicago that we've been getting a lot of these shows with and working with them on those. But for Ohio, really, the biggest thing is just we try to get the best headliners we can to give the local talent the best opportunity. Sometimes they get upset with me because, the local will went on this show or that show, and I'll deny them, but I may have another show that's not announced yet that I have that fits them better, So we just try to pair up what we think is going to be the best overall for the scene, as opposed to each artist or each show, which I know a lot of people don't do. They're focused on that single show, as we try to focus on the scene as a whole.
That's awesome. And you do different genres as well. So I bet that's difficult. You're working with bands of different genres, fitting them in with the talent that's coming through town and matching everybody up. And that's a lot on your plate. So a lot of bands definitely need to take that into consideration. Like you're doing the best you can, and you have been.
Yeah, I've been trying to, and like I said, not everybody always understands my booking strategies or the strategies that we're putting into place, but you also kind of don't want everybody to understand them, or everybody would do them.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're interested, street team members, there you go. We're always looking to grow, so more help, definitely, right?
Yes, always. Because we've got some other places that we're actually looking to spread. We're actually looking to set up something a little more national. I can't get too into detail with that, but we've got some stuff that once we get that on track, that'll really open up some opportunities for not just Ohio, but the music scenes in these particular places.
Well, listeners, definitely stay tuned because towards the end of the show, we'll show all that he's got going on currently. I know he's probably working on so much more stuff, but we'll give you the glimpse of what's currently about to happen. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, man. It's getting back from the pandemic, man, like so excited. I'm just so ready to like get out and like break my neck and my back and my hip. Like, I've never been so excited to be in so much pain of loading in. Like, give me a drum kit. Like, give me something. Let's do this,
Work on those neck stretches first so you're not so sore. Like,
right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Some yoga. Like, yeah. Carl, getting ready to come back from the pandemic, man, getting ready for all this. I'm sure it was a real pain in the ass, not only for you, but your team. And I'm sure everybody around you. What have been some of the things that you and your team have done to ease the pain a little bit?
Well, we have tried to really ease back into the shows. Somewhat. We have and we haven't. we waited until the time was right to try and bring some of these talents back so that it wouldn't be such a shock. Because it's kind of like, when you're out all day working or whatever, and then you jump in a bucket of ice water, you can't just shock the scene back into it. But the people are ready. The shows have been doing amazing. The crowds have been coming out. Everybody's been in amazing moods. I believe out of the last run of 7 shows, there was 1 fight that I can remember. And so, I mean, the people were just ready to have a good time. There was everybody coming out. It was all a good time, and the people are ready.
That they are. And there for a while, it was so controversial. There was so much controversy with half the people saying, don't do it, don't do it. And then the other people were like, we're just going to keep on doing it. And we definitely went through some trials with all that, went through fire and flame, and we came out of it. And here we are ready to start up again. I know my emails have been flooded with all the new concert events coming out. I'm just so shocked and excited for all this to happen. So
it went from real quiet to like boom, and like I haven't been able to put my iPad down or anything down. Like my phone's going off. Like I have interviews booked out all the way till like September. I'm like, it's crazy. Where is this all of a sudden? Like everybody was like, let's go.
Yeah. And just right before the mask mandate lifted, it was like, bam.
Yeah, there's a lot of good shows coming, especially on the upper levels. I've seen so many tours that are just going to be amazing this year that I'm actually excited about to go to some of those myself.
Yeah, I've got some on my agenda as well, for sure. Like, I can't miss this one, and I can't miss this one. I'm looking forward to seeing how the festivals turn out, because they're limiting some of the tickets, the sales and stuff. So there's not so many people. We're going to take Incarceration Festival, for example. That thing is always maxed out capacity.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how they'll incorporate all the things that are happening, all these changes. I feel like it's just going to be back to normal with no problem. How do you feel? Do you think everything's just going to flip a switch and go right back to normal? Or
I think that you're going to have some people on both sides of that, I think. But for the most part, I believe the majority is going to just go back to normal. With the smaller shows that we've had, that's not festival size, that's kind of how it's been. You've had a few people here and there, that still wants to wear their mask, and we support if that's what they want to do. But for the most part, the people have just came back out and ready to rock.
Yeah, like people didn't wash their hands after midnight before COVID, they're not gonna wash their hands after midnight. Like, it's just not gonna go. I mean, it's just you're not gonna stop everybody. I mean, but I encourage people, if you want to wear a mask and you want to be safe, cool, come on out. But like those people that are like starting fist fights over the mask thing and everything else, like, man, come on now.
Here's my thing, man. You're going out to a public event. You're an adult. You know the risk. You know where you're going. This is not something that's mandatory like work or something. So you know what? If you're going to come out, understand where you're going. Understand the risks that are involved and be an adult about it. It's that simple.
Yep.
I agree, 100%. So I heard a rumor, Carl, and I was hoping you could help me squash this one. Florida, we're going to go back to Florida and them saying how they're going to start charging people more if they can't provide the vaccination that they got. They're going to charge them
$1 ticket versus $18 ticket.
Yeah. Can you help squash this one out for everybody so they know where they stand?
Well, I have seen something on that. Any IMS shows, that will not be the case. That'll never be the case. So I can't really, speak on that particular article because I'm not a fact checker, whatever. But that'll never happen with our shows. I can just tell you that now. But I did see the article you're talking about. It was like $1,000 for unvaccinated and $18, and that's just ridiculous if you ask me.
Yeah,
I agree. Definitely. Well, I'm glad to know that you're not going to take part in that.
No, definitely not.
It's just dumb. Right there it is. Dumb.
They got it right on the head.
Yep.
Carl, what are some of the, things that you are trying to grow and better as you're moving through after the pandemic? What are some of the things that you're strictly focusing on right now to make sure are better?
Well, right now, we're just trying to make sure that the show quality is there, that we don't go back to the type of shows we had before. So every show we're putting the extra effort into just making sure it's a fun experience for everybody that comes out. We do a lot of all age shows now. And of course, we ask people to use common sense with that. If you're coming to an indoor venue metal show, don't bring a stroller. But you get my point. But the point is we're trying to make it more of like that older school family vibe where you could take your family out, go have a good time and didn't have to worry. You could have a few drinks, whatever, but it wasn't something that you had to worry about like a lot of shows nowadays.
Yeah. Looking forward, what are some of the things what are some of the mistakes that you made in the beginning? Like, and you don't have to get into too detail, but like, as far as like mistakes in the beginning to what you're doing now, like how much in between, like growing, would you say from start to now?
Oh, there's been an amazing amount of growing. In the beginning, I was doing this by myself, trying to learn before I had any team or anything. In this particular line of business, you cannot do it alone. As a promoter, it is not possible. Some artists, you can be a solo artist, for example. That's not the case if you're a promoter. At least if you're trying to grow. If you're a local promoter, you have a club, okay, you can do that. But with us, I'm looking on more of a national level, and it's not possible to do that, because you have to have people supporting you, and that's the biggest thing. You give support, you get support.
What are, do you guys have issues with artists and bands like promoting, like say you guys put an artist or a band on a bill and there's 4 bands on the bill? Do you guys have trouble with your bands and everybody sticking around to salute and support everybody through the show? I know before the pandemic, that was something that a lot of people were like talking about, and like it was really under the microscope that, you have 4 bands in the bar at midnight, you still got 1 or 2 left, and there's nobody there to support anybody. I get the common, I'm a dad or I'm a mom and I have to work in the morning. Like that's, whatever. But if I see you at a show and then you leave the show and you go to another bar, and you're out doing that and not supporting the show, like how likely are you to invite that band or artist back?
More than likely, it kind of depends. I always have a rule with most of my artists that I tell them, as a support artist, you stay in the venue until the headliner goes on minimum. Just that simple. That way everybody supports everybody. I also tell them to tell all their fans to come at doors. That way everybody supports everybody. So that being said, we do have some issues with that. And of course, the different styles, like you said earlier, we do different genres of music. The different genres make it different as well. Certain genres, some of the artists are better about promoting the shows or their music, than other genres. But the genres don't work the same either. You know what I mean? Like a rock show and a hip hop show are totally separate, and they're not even in the same realm. So you can't handle those the same way.
Right.
But yeah, most of the time, if you get on one of our shows, you don't promote yourself as an artist and the show that you're on, you're probably not going to get asked back, because it's not my job as a promoter to promote you as an artist. That's your job, to promote to your fans. My job as a promoter is to build a successful show and promote a successful show. So yes, I'll be promoting the show, but it's like, you take a big band, who's their promoter? You don't know.
Right.
You know where the shows are, like Metallica, for example. You know where Metallica is going to be because Metallica promotes it on their pages.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Good point. Yeah, definitely a good point. So, everybody needs to work for themselves here. And going back to the whole business side of it, you need to be able to do it properly. And
like Ant-Man said, we all have lanes, okay? And in this business, it's all one whole business, but a bunch of little pieces to be put together. And if you're doing a show and any of those pieces aren't connecting, then it's not going to work. Because you have to have the venue who's there doing their job for the show. You have to have the artist bringing the people in to fill the venue. You have to have the promoter putting the correct artists on it to bring the people in to fill the venue to put the show on.
So I'm not looking away or ignoring our conversation. I have a 40-inch TV here looking at their Facebook messages. I want to give a shout out to Doris and Buckup and Aaron Klein. He said the best way to learn, grow from doing it. And my man Matt Hull in there, he says Carl's killing the game. I'm gonna go back to that real quick. For just a short time, I mean, relatively speaking, in the standards of music, you really haven't been in the game that long, and you've been able to put together some pretty quality shows, man. What do you have to, besides your team? Because I love the team, but what can be accredited to that? If you couldn't name the team.
I pretty much have done this 24/7 for the last 4 years straight. Every single day, I learn something new. Every single day, I make a new contact. Every single day, I find a new video. Every single day, this is what I do 24/7. Now, most people can't do that, but that's part of the reason that I have grown, because I have taken the time to learn.
networking is a key factor for sure. And that goes for everybody in this business. You got to network to grow.
Yeah. You have to have something worth, and a lot of like the bands and artists that I've been working with and supporting, some of them and I have no problems telling them to their faces, like, you want $400 for a gig, you better be worth $400 for a gig.
Exactly.
A lot of artists, musicians walk in the door and say, well, I want this. Okay, well, three things I always say: if you put asses in the seats, if you promote the show, if you care as much about your fingernails as you do your fans, then maybe you're worth the 400.
How do you deal with people who make demands like that?
Well, it's this simple. A lot of times the bands mistake things. We do a lot of shows that are off of tickets. Usually our support artists sell tickets for us. That's nothing against anybody. We don't do pay to play, so it's not like we're ripping anybody off or making anybody.
Oh,
guest.
Call from
Hank Hill.
we have a caller. Whoa.
You're live on RA Nation.
Hold on 1 second. Lady Bird, get out of the poop, okay? Is this the Domino's on West 5th Street? I'd like to place a delivery order. Hello?
No, Hank. This is not.
How did you know my name?
I
This is Hank Hill. I'm from Arlington, Texas. Also, Lady Bird would like a 6-pack of Alamo beer. That damn dog's crazy. I swear to God. Hey, wait a second. Is this Ant-Man?
What's going on, Hank? How are you, man?
I'm doing fine. Hey, did you get that big Post shirt that we sent over to you?
I sure did.
Post something special. I'll tell you what. He's got a song called Catfish.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Lady Bird likes it, and we listen to it in our Ford truck. We drive down the road like we're Drix and the Blue Collar Ballers.
Oh yeah, that's a good group of dudes right there.
Yeah, I seen him at one of them shows that Carl Keaton Jr. puts on. He's quite a character.
One of
He's
them
7
there
foot,
things.
17 inches tall, I think he is.
Yeah, like standing next to me, he's like 17 feet tall. You're right. I absolutely agree.
He's a pretty big fella. Do you know him?
I know him. I've known him for man a long time now, right? I think as long as you've been doing your thing, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Wait,
Wow.
that's Carl right there. Hey, Carl.
What's up, Hank?
I got your money. You don't have to come after me now. I'm going to pay you.
Okay, well, I'll see you tomorrow for that, Hank.
Okay. Hey, but do you have the number to the Domino's? I'm really getting hungry.
No, there's one across the street from the studio. Maybe you should come see us.
There you go.
Okay. I'll walk over. Hey, I got to go. Lady Bird's pooping in the neighbor's yard. I got to go. I got to go. Later.
Later.
Thanks, Hank.
That's my dude Hank.
Yeah, I was wondering if you'd remember him from the last time.
Not to be confused with Panky, but that's Hank. You know, man, like it's been a long time. Like honestly, it's been a real privilege, man, to hang out with you again, dude. I haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah, we'll have to get you down to a show, let you see some of the growth that we've done. Because I remember the last show, that very first Upchurch show at the Blue Note, and
dude, I still have
young and at the minute.
I still have footage from that. I have all the footage still from that night. Like I didn't put any of out because some of it was kind of crazy. So I didn't put I didn't know if that was appropriate for all ages.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I would love to come down, man, and you know, me and Roxy come down and, you know, get a tour and hang out and stuff like that, man. I'd love to see what we can do in the future, bring us all together and get this thing going for all.
Definitely.
Well, speaking of video footage, you've got something lined up for us tonight. You want to, got a video. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it before I play it?
Well, it was from your guest that was supposed to be on last week. It's from one of the last shows that we've had. Let's see, it was from last month. I believe it was Struggle Jennings was the show, but the artist that's performing is Rich Regal.
Nice. Yeah. Rich Regal.
Right with your chest. Rich Regal.
Yeah, white trash.
Well, let's play that for everybody here.
Tattoos on my body. I got 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 tattoos on my body. Yeah, bitch, call me Bubba J. Yeah, bitch, call me Bubba J. I'm a white boy. Call me salty. I'm a white boy and crackers, they hit the scene.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So that was packed out. It looks like so much fun.
That's a show.
That is a show.
And Rich killed it that night, dude. That I'm telling you, if you haven't seen Rich Regal live, go see one of his live shows. That dude is on fire.
Yeah, man. RichRegal740.com. Make sure you guys over there check him out. And let him know Ant-Man sent you. Yeah.
Nice. So let's lead into this. What do we got going on coming up?
Friday we're at Odd Bodies. With Mark Rizzo and Whiskey Dick. And then July 16th, we're going to be at the Thompson House in Newport, Kentucky with Smile Empty Soul. Then July 31st, we're going to be at Odd Bodies again with Anti-Mortem. August 9th, we're with Alessina at King of Clubs. August 19th, we're with Red at the King of Clubs. October 9th, we have Attila at Odd Bodies. November 13th, we have OTEP at Odd Bodies. And then December 3rd, we have Jelly Roll at the Pavilion in Indianapolis.
Nice. That you guys have so much going on. You're in many places with different genres. It's happening, man. It's happening. I'm excited.
I am too. I really see big things coming this year for the scene. Like I said, everybody's had a break now. Everybody's, ready to get back out, ready to work. I've seen people working together that, you don't normally see together, at least pre this situation, working together. I'm excited. There's a lot of stuff coming.
And there was many local bands on those bills that I recognize. I've seen multiple times. So that's an exciting thing. One thing I always do is when I see the bill and the lineup, I go and check everybody out that's on there. So I can at least say I know one song. And it helps create a really great experience for you. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I'm like 3130. I saw Ryan. I saw so many local bands on there. And I'm like, yeah, just as excited for them.
Yeah, and we have more coming that's not announced yet. I'm still working on a few of the shows, filling those. But as soon as I get the locals, we'll get the new flyers out for all of those for everybody.
Nice. We really look forward to seeing them. And seeing everybody else out there too.
Looking at all the comments flooding in. I'm looking at everybody. So in the Facebook chat, Heather Lynn, she said, can't wait to see you guys perform again in Controversy for Breakfast. Everyone check them out on YouTube. Subscribe. I love me some Controversy for Breakfast, and I love me some banjo. That's all I'm going to say.
Agatha with banjo.
Yes, sir. Makes me want. I'm gonna have to turn it on after the show. As soon as I'm done, I'm gonna put that on. I'm gonna wake the kids up in the house.
You're gonna have to go back and find that old episode and get all of those locals that we played that night, man.
Oh my god! You know what? I might still have it. I have every episode I've ever done. So if I don't have it on video, I should have it on video. Actually, the whole YouTube channel is still up, so I got everything there. I just have to find. After 500 episodes of the podcast, I find it again.
Yeah, there was some good music on there that night.
Yeah, it was a crazy night, man, definitely. And I'm excited, me for one, to get back to stuff like that, Mm-hmm. I people are trying to get Big Poe to call in. Like,
no.
He was here. I remember he was here that one of those nights. Him and Justin.
Yep, him and Hitman. That was the night I was supposed to actually be up, but I couldn't make it that night because that was the night I was sick, if you remember. I believe it was the night right before the Upchurch show because I was sick from all the stress.
Yeah.
3 stages at that Upchurch show. I'd never done a venue like that. It's not just a normal one. This venue had 3 stages.
Yeah, and they wanted all 3 stages lit and prepped and ready to go. And I was there all day, man, when we loaded in. And, oh, man, some stories.
That was when I was still by myself, right before I got my team. And Oh, that show. I learned a lot.
Yeah. I think we all did, man. I'll be honest. It was the first time for me that I had been directly in the middle of, like, I don't know, overflowing 1,000 people or more, like shoulder to shoulder. Like, air conditioning couldn't have saved any of us. It was so hot in there.
Oh yeah, that place was so packed out. And actually, we've only had one show that was bigger than that at that venue, and it was Sebastian Bach. And that one actually was about, I believe, 75 tickets higher than the Upchurch show.
Wow. The
Yeah.
things we endure for live music. Sweaty body to sweaty body.
Mhm.
I can't tell you how many beers I've gotten spilled on me for wanting to get that good shot. Get that good video shot, because I'm a small dude, so it's like, sorry, bro, here's a beer down your back. Oh, cool, thanks, I'm awake, let's go.
Right.
Nice. So we've got so many people flooding our chat with awesomeness about integrated music solutions. So I'm going to need everybody to go check them out on their Facebook, Instagram, all that good jazz. Check out their website. They got so much stuff coming up. And if you're a local band in the area, reach out to Integrated Music Solutions, because we're doing this as a team, guys. We're going to make this work,
That's right. It's got to be about the unity. I always tell everyone, even artists that I talk to, like bands, and here's some advice for everyone out there. If you're a local artist, start unifying. Go to shows that are not your shows and support the other bands. Just like if you want them to come to your shows and support you, start helping each other sell tickets to each other's shows. Start talking to each other. Start doing projects together, songs, whatever, but create the unity in your scene, and then the shows will come.
On that note, I will put this out there. So any artists that work with you or work with Integrated or anything like that, and they want to do interviews and promo and other stuff like that, I'm willing to, definitely open up my shop and help out where I can and bring us together. We were connected at one point, and then like life happened for everybody. So I think it's time to get back and lace up the boots and get back to it, man.
I agree. I found one thing with all I've learned in this business, and that is timing is literally everything. And we met before to set us up for the timing now.
Yep, absolutely. I agree. 100%. Yes, sir.
So we got an email address too, right, Ant-Man?
Email address too.
We have an email address too. So somebody, the bands that want to reach out and do,
That's what I was actually in the process of saying. Yeah.
There it is.
So you guys can hit us up at Gmail, RA Nation Podcast at gmail.com.
Yep, or on the Facebook. Join the group. Everybody's got to join.
Yes, you need to join the group, man, because a lot of we're not creating a likes page. We're going to create a group where everybody can communicate. And no hate, just create. That's what our slogan for the group is.
Sounds like a pretty good slogan.
Yeah, man. It's going to be on a t-shirt. I'm going to make Roxy wear it because she'll get people to buy it. They won't buy it with my mug on it. We'll put Roxy on it.
There we go. That's how you do it.
Right.
All right. Well, our time's up for the night. So, Carl, I want to thank you so very much for being on the show with us tonight and all that you do. And I hope everybody checks you out, comes to your show, supports you, supports other bands as well. And again, the word that you stated was unity. And I think we should all work together and make this happen and make the scene great again.
I agree. And I thank you guys so much for opening your platform to us, letting me come on here and talk with you guys. I will definitely try and, bring some other artists your way and help you guys grow in any way I can in the future.
Right on, man. Also, I want to give a shout out to icb.edu as well, International College of Broadcasting, for allowing Carl to use all of their software and products tonight to come hang out with us, man. So make sure you guys head over to the International College of Broadcasting at icb.edu today. And if you're interested in doing what we do, what me and Roxy do, you can head over there and sign up. You can take the Insta quiz, as I'll call it. It's a very quick in and out quiz to see if you're eligible and something that you want to do.
There you go. There we have it, everybody. So until next week.
Yes, next week it's going to be a killer show. I'm excited about it, man. Make sure you guys be watching for it. If you haven't already, share this out. Like and share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, man. We appreciate all you guys do. And Carl, thanks, man, for doing what you do as a promoter and somebody in the community. And thanks for stepping up, man, when a lot of other people just flat out couldn't, and we all know who those people are. So
thank you guys for having me again.
Yes, man. If there's anything we can do, just let us know, and we got your back 100.
Definitely. Well, we'll all keep in touch after this.
Right on, man.
Absolutely. All right, later, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.